Listen.
Back with the problem of EOS. I've been getting the code 9, and what that is cylinder. It's not detecting cylinder number 1 position. It's not a constant light, but it comes and go. And I noticed my Acura has a slight hesitation. So I figured I'd just go ahead and fix it. I've been driving like this for a while now, kind of getting tired of it. Like I said, it's not that bad, but I'm trying to get everything I can out of this. So what the problem is, it's the distributor. It's inside the distributor. You can have this distributor fixed, but they will have to completely turn this distributor inside out. You pull all the guts out and replace the sensor on the inside. The easiest thing to do for me and for many, just go buy another distributor. If you're a guy like myself, been messing with Hondas for a while, you probably got another distributor just laying around. And there we go. Got another one laying on the ground over there. As you can see, it only has 2 legs on it. I'll explain that to you later. What you want to do is, you can start by your choice. Disconnecting all the electrical to unplug the distributor. You don't have to unplug the battery, but I mean, if you want to, go for it. I'm not. So do it at your own risk. To be safe, unplug the battery. You can either disconnect the electrical or unplug the spark plug wire. Either way, both of them gonna have to come off. Now, with the spark plug wires, I don't know if you can tell, but all of them look alike. Especially if you don't remove the centerpiece, you need to know what wire is what, go to what, from what cylinder. What I did, I just got a marker. I don't know if you can see the marks on it or not, but for those who don't know the firing order, I'm going to tell you, the bottom one is number 1, my index, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. What I did, I just got a marker, and as you can see, where my finger at, that mark right there, I put a 1 mark there, right here, somewhere on this damn thing. Oh yeah, in the back right here. Come on, focus, damn it. In the back where my finger is, I put 2 marks. And you see up top on this one, actually like 4, but that mark ain't, don't count that one. The one in the back is 3 marks. And obviously the one without a mark is gonna be 4. So I marked them so when I take them off, I don't get confused and be like, man, what the hell, which one is which? Then I'm gonna have to remove this to figure out what wire goes where. So I'm gonna disconnect this stuff and I'll get back to you. Oh, another thing. To get this top screw right here, you can't use a ratchet. You must use a wrench. And it's a 12 millimeter. So the top screw, 12 millimeter. The ones at the bottom, you're gonna need a ratchet with an extension. There's one at the top, and I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a lot going on under here. See under the bottom, that screw in the back, that's number 2. And then there's another one. I don't know if you can see that one. Let's see if I can move some of the stuff out of the way. There's gonna be another one right here where my index finger is. There's another one right there holding it. So we're gonna take those apart and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so as you can see, I have the electrical connections unplugged. I also took off the distributor wires, spark plug wires, whatever you want to call it, and be technical about it. Now all you have to do is take the screws off. The bolts, already loosen them up. I only have one holding it. So this screw right here,
Daddy.
it's already loosened.
Daddy.
Take it off.
Daddy.
And screw out. So once you get all the screws out, all you have to do is wiggle the distributor out. Now, another thing, when you pull this distributor out, there's going to be how can I say? What the hell they call that thing? There's going to be we're going to call it a key. There's a key in the back of the distributor that needs to line up with the cam. So when you pull the distributor out, try to remember the position of that key. If not, it's simple. If you forget what position it was in when you try to put your distributor in, if it's fighting you, just spin the key till it line up to that cam gear and try it again. It can only go one way. If one way don't fit, spin it, and the other way should. So right now I'm gonna pull out the distributor. Now, depending on how long your car's been sitting, there's a seal behind this distributor. When you pull it out, it may or may not leak oil. It can leak. Even if it does leak, it's not going to be a lot. But if it does, I usually put a rag underneath right there just to catch the oil that possibly could come out. My car been sitting a couple hours now, so it might not leak. So let's go ahead and pull the distributor out. Alright, so we got the distributor out, and as you can see, mine is as dry as a doggy bone. It didn't leak at all. So depending on how recent you shut your engine off, it may leak, it may not. But see that? I don't know if you can see it, but that's the cam in there. Kind of look like a cross or a slant, whatever you want to call it. The tooth behind the distributor must line up with that. It only go one way. So if it fights you one way, spin it, put it back in, it should go. This is the tooth I was talking about behind the distributor. Now, my distributor, the one I'm gonna put on, is used. I had it for a long time, and I don't remember how good the seal is. This seal, oh, I know you're gonna take this one off. Look like somebody siliconed it. You don't even want to move. So obviously this one probably was leaking at one point in time because somebody put silicone on it. But if your distributor, if you don't see any oil underneath, that means this seal is good. You might want to remove it and put it on whatever distributor you're gonna use. If you buy a new distributor, more than likely you won't have to. But if you're using a used one and you're not sure, then use the one that you know wasn't leaking. All you gotta do is get like a flat tip, a little flat tip, pull it out and put it on whatever distributor you're gonna use. So I'm gonna put my other distributor, and to put the new or used distributor that you're going to use at this time, to put it back on, it's just reverse order. Put the distributor back in, make sure you line up this tooth right here, and hopefully you mark your spark plug wires and reconnect all the electrical, and that's it. Now, I'm not going to show the video of me putting everything back. Like I say, it's just reverse of what you just did. Now I'm going to explain what I was going to explain 4-5 years ago, my very first video. It's on YouTube. If you want to check it out, check it out. But I'm going to explain why this distributor over here only has one leg. Now, this distributor was used on a CRX, and as you can see, it's OBD1. Now, you're wondering why is there so many connections on here. This distributor is OBD1, but it has a, what they call this damn thing? I forgot what they call it, but pigtail. And the pigtail makes it from, not OBD1. This is OBD2. I'm sorry. This is a OBD2 distributor. But damn it, I'm confused right now. I think it's OBD1. Cause OBD1 and OBD2 distributors are the same. It's just that OBD2 has one big connection, and OBD1 have two connections, but they work the same. This one was actually OBD1, and it has the pigtails on it to go to OBD0. Now, back in the day when I first started doing this, we used to cut the wires and rewire them ourselves. Now it's easier. People made it a lot easier. You just buy these pigtails and connect it. Now, as you can see, this distributor is OBD1 and there's 2 connectors. If you come to my car over here, it's only 1 connector. It's OBD2. But my car also has the pigtails to make it OBD1. Now you can run an OBD2 distributor with an OBD1 ECU. It's no problem. But you cannot run an OBD0 distributor with a OBD1 ECU, or vice versa. So that's the reason why this distributor looks the way it does. This leg is cut off because it's not a VTEC distributor. It's just a basic OBD1 distributor for non-VTEC engine. This leg will hit the VTEC solenoid. So in order to get this distributor on a VTEC head, just chop this leg off. 2 screws will hold it just fine. So chop this leg off, put your distributor on, you just saved yourself a lot of money. VTEC distributors tend to cost anywhere in the range of $100, $200, depending on where you get it from, sometimes even more. You might already have an OBD1 distributor laying around that you could use, but you see that it hit the VTEC solenoid. Come on, bro. Just chop that leg off that's hitting the VTEC solenoid, bolt this thing up, and get on about your business. So I'm going to end this video with that, and I hope this helps. But if you get a code 9, the easiest thing to do is just get another distributor, unless you know somebody who can tear it apart and replace the sensor on the inside. Then go for that. If you have any questions, hit me up, comment at the bottom, like, subscribe, and I'll get back to you shortly. This is my GSR 97 Integra. Do whoop. Later and out.